Assalamu alaikum, how are you all? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a new video on the IELTS examination. Today I thought that I would pick up the reading section of the examination. So we're using book 3 of the IELTS examination, Cambridge IELTS examination papers, and we will be doing the general reading test first for the sake of popularity, I would say, and then we will move on to the academic reading section. Obviously we won't be doing the entire test, but we'll be doing as much as we can, at least one passage. All right, so let's start with our with our general IELTS reading passage. And there are certain skills and strategies that I would like to talk about. The first one being, when you start off with your initial practice of the IELTS examination, don't time yourself for the reading section. Do the test open-ended, develop skills and strategies on finding the answer as quickly as possible, on understanding what you're reading, on the skills of the reading passage rather than the time. I know that the IELTS examination for reading is a very it's a tedious section of the exam because it is highly difficult to complete in that 1 hour, but you have to, obviously, if you want a high band. So basically you only have 1 hour for 3 passages, and you don't get any extra transfer time, so you have to finish it off in that 1 hour with the transfer of the answers. So in the beginning I would say just do it open-ended, do not time yourself, and once you've got the hang of it, you can start timing yourself. So that's tip 1. Tip 2 is that you should have some kind of a pen or a pencil with you so that you can underline key words and phrases, right? So let's start reading. Section 1, look at the advertisement opposite. Write the appropriate letters A to E in boxes 1 to 8 on your answer sheet. So you've got A, International Language Center. B, these are your choices: Global Language Learning Center. C, TAFE International. D, Club Francis. And E, University of Canberra. So these are your questions, and let's move on to the actual text, right? So if I were a student and I got a text like this, I would immediately take my pen and I would start underlining key words, right? I would use my pencil and I would underline, for instance, International Language Center. Then I would underline Institute of Technology, right? Then, of course, what are the courses that are being offered? So you have French, Japanese, summer intensive. When it is commencing, January 1997. And these are the languages. For further details, and so on. And maybe even the location, right? So I would start underlining the key things. Same goes for the next one, global language. Because the minute I've underlined this, it's kind of stuck with me visually. And when I look at the question, I can quickly come back to the answer, right? So these are, sorry, made a mistake there. So this is some important information. It is one of the world's best language schools now in Sydney. Learn new languages in 10 to 20 weeks. Latest method, use day and evening classes, and so on. So I would, just mark off all of this as well. Okay, do you want to learn English somewhere different? So this is another interesting thing. So this is English. Come to Perth, the picturesque capital of Western Australia. Then situated in the beautiful Swan River, it offers Mediterranean climate, lovely Indian Ocean beaches, every sport imaginable, multicultural. So I mean, I am reading all of it, but I'm underlining it just so that I can find the answer very quickly. Same goes for this, the French summer courses, right? So similarly, I won't go over each and every one with you individually like this, but you get the hang of it, right? So once you're done with this, you can come down to the questions, right? So let's go to the questions now. Now, a great way to do your IELTS reading is to print out these papers. Print them out, keep them before you, because a lot of us work better when we have something in front of us rather than electronically. And even if you're interested in going for the computer delivered exam, practice your skills, your strategies on printout before you start the computer practice. It will help a lot. It will help a lot. So let's get started. So which advertisement mentions up-to-date teaching system? So let's go and have a look. Now, I remember reading that one of it said that it had these updated, I don't know what it was. So let's look at it again. It's definitely not the International Language Center. What about the Global Language Center? One of the world's best schools in now in Sydney, learn a new language. Latest methods, right? Latest methods. Sorry, I crossed it out by mistake. So isn't that synonymous, latest method, isn't that synonymous with up to date? So I'm going to mark off B. So up to date teaching will be B. So I'll write B over there. Oh my God. My B needs some work. Okay. It's hard to work on these electronic systems. So let me make a small b. Yeah? Okay. That the institution has been established for a significant time. So it's an established institute. Let's go back and look for it. That. I don't see anything over here. Let's look at C. Not really. Established for a long period of time, Let's look at D. D offers French summer courses, adults, no. Let's look at E, in University of Canberra. Learn English in Australia's national capital. The TESOL Centre has more than 24 years of experience. I'm not even going to look at anything else. I know that it is E. So it has been established. This is tricky for me. Okay, let me try and make a nice clean E over here. Yep, there it is. Examination classes. So it offers exams as well. Let's start with E just so that, we can write it off. Test preparation, possibility of further academic study, classes conducted, no. There's no mention of an examination. Let's look at this one, French. I don't see any option of an exam in French. Let's look at, what was this? 3, right? Examination classes. Wait a minute. Test preparation. Possibility of further, no. I think I'm gonna mark this off. This looks like a possibility to me. All right. I don't see it in French. I don't see it in the English course. I don't see it here, and I do not see it here. So it must be E. So it's E again. All right. Examination. There's my E. Okay. That arrangements can be made for activities outside class. So you have outdoor activities. So let's look at what this is. Travel. Option to travel. Let's see. But outdoor is something quite different. I think this is it. Because you see, they have mentioned that it's situated on the beautiful Swan River and it offers Mediterranean climate, beaches, and so on. So I would go with C. I'm not even going to second guess myself. I'm pretty sure C is the correct answer. Then 5, the availability of courses for school students. So the ages, look at the ages. So school students would be younger children. So who offers younger children? I remember that French had offered all age groups, years 8 to 12. beginners, and so on. So I would go with D. D is my option over here. So let's do this. Availability of courses for school students, D. Okay. Language, that's a very awkward. D. Let's make a proper one. Okay. Language teaching for special purposes, right? So special purposes, TESOL is coming to mind, but let's see if I can find something else. Yes, business, hospitality, or travel, right? So you're learning language for these special purposes. So I would put down B. All right. Okay, which two advertisements mention a wide variety of language choices and wide variety of language choices? All right, so which two advertisements mention a wide variety of language choices? Let me have a look. Okay, I can have more than one option. So obviously A, because A offers Mandarin, Cantonese, Thai, Vietnamese, and so on. And the next one would be learn a new language, would be B, global. Yeah, so wide variety of language choices is A and B. So A and B, right? Which offers evening classes? So let's look at this, evening classes. B offers evening classes, day and evening. And C doesn't, A doesn't. Does D? Yes. D offers it, evening. So I will go with B and D. So B and D. Sorry about my writing, it's terrible. Using the electronic pen. All right, now let's check our answers. Okay, so our answers are at the back of the book, and we can just go there and have a look. We're just gonna have to go back and forth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down my options that I chose for all of the questions on a piece of paper, and I think you can do the same. So for option 1 we took B and so on. So I'm just going to quickly copy these. Option 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 and 8. Okay, so let's just quickly copy those and let's go to the answers at the back of the book. All of the books have answers at the back. And this was your general reading test A. So for 1 I took B, which is correct. For 2 I took E, which is correct. For 3 I took C, and they are all correct. I mean, I'm just going to glance at them and you can look at them properly. They are all correct. And look how easy it was. All you had to do was mark them out, annotate somewhere in the beginning, and then once you had annotated in the beginning, it gave you a sort of a guide, you know, like a signpost to move you along. And once you were on the right track, it really took you hardly any time. I would say because I was doing this as a video, it probably took me 10 minutes. If you do it physically yourself, it would probably take you 5 minutes. And look at the time that you're cutting down. A passage which you would generally spend 15 minutes on, you only spend 5 minutes on it. So that's amazing. I think that would be just amazing. So I'm going to do another video very soon with another IELTS passage, whether it's reading general or whether it's academic reading, I don't know right now. But do keep in mind these 2 tips. Tip number 1, do not time yourself when you've just started learning how to prepare for the exam. And tip number 2, underline, annotate. Underline and annotate for quick reading and for quick answer search. All right. Take care, students, and I think that you would get a lot of information out of this video. And please leave your comments below. Tell me what you want me to do differently. Tell me if there's one specific test that you'd like me to do, and I will do it for you. Take care, and take care of your friends and family.